because it's not there at all.
Is that negative or positive?
Well, negative 0 is the same as positive 0.
0 is.
So B is 0. And then what's A? Are you trying to do number 2? Or are you just reading? Read it. To finish 2 and 3, and then I'll have some volunteers come up. Follow the steps on the left side of the screen if you need it. Can I erase the stuff on the board? So a good mental check is to see is it mirrored? You know what I mean? Like 2 level. Yeah, got it. No. Evaluate that as 0 divided by 6. So the x of the vertex is 0. It equals 0 in this. Alright, does anybody have number 2 that they'd like to come share? Yeah, Gina.
I'll put it on there too.
Yes, please.
That's kind of sloppy.
It's okay.
Okay.
And then if you can come up and explain things about it, walk us through. We'll talk about it and we'll catch it if it's wrong. Right, please.
You can zoom, enlarge it. No, enlarge the window. Click on the maximize. Yeah, there you go.
Alright, so first we're gonna make a table, and this is our equation. What I did was -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And basically you just plug in all the equation there, and whatever is here, you just make it an x, because that's an x. Plug it in. And then you just get the result of all these numbers. And since it's more positive than negative, I drew a graph where it's more positive top, and it's minimum point, right? It's right here. It's -1, yeah. That's pretty much it.
What are the y-intercept?
That's
That's
why it is that. Okay, that's what I said. Like this.
Well, what's a y-intercept?
All of this.
Anybody know what a y-intercept is? In general, not necessarily just here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where it hits the y-axis. Where does it hit the y-axis?
Yeah.
that value? -1. So the y-intercept is 0, -1, right? Which you get.
I didn't like it like that for you.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Alright,
Any questions for Gina? No? One go up? Alright, thank you. Did anybody get to number 3? You did? You did? Yeah, come on over here. Okay, how about I write down the work and then you explain it? Is that fair? Okay. Okay, so number 3. So first of all, what do we expect this graph to look like?
Like down, because it's a negative.
So it looks like it's gonna have a maximum. We expect it to look, it'll look something like that because we have a -1 as a coefficient. So we expect that it'll be a downward parabola. And then do we think it's gonna be shifted up or down?
Down.
Down, why do we know that?
It's gonna be
Because that's negative.
-3, so we'll, okay. So we think that it'll be shifted down 3 units, so let's double check that. Okay, so our first step is to find the vertex. So what is the vertex? Negative b over 2a gives us the x coordinate of it. What is our b? 0. So we get 0 divided by anything is just 0. So we know it's going to be 0 for our x. So if we make a xy table, we can write a 0 there. And then the next is to plug in x values around the vertex. So what x values do we want to plug in?
-2, -1, and 2.
Love it. Now we want to plug in the x values to find our y values. So I want to plug in, I'll plug in 0 first into this equation. So -0 squared minus 3. Be careful when you're plugging in values that you are using parentheses because is the negative being squared here? No, just the x. So you're going to square the x and then make it negative. So that's why we want to do 0 squared is 0. And then make it negative. -0 is just 0. And then -3 is -3. Okay? What about 1? -1 squared minus 3. 1 squared is 1. Make it negative. -1. Minus 3 is -4. -2 squared minus 3. 2 squared is +4. Make it negative. -4. Minus 3 is -7. -1 squared minus 3. -1 squared is +1, make it negative. -1 minus 3 is -4. And then -2 squared minus 3. -2 squared is +4, make it negative. -4 minus 3 is -7. And we can again double check that it's mirrored, so that looks good. Now we want to make a graph that represents the points. So what is my lowest x and biggest x? -2 is the smallest and +2 is the biggest. So I probably want to do something like this. And then what is my lowest and highest y value? So it's really low, right? It goes down to -7. So that tells me that I probably did that wrong. I want to do it up here because I know that it's going to be going way down. Like that. Right? Down to -7. Yeah? And then I can just plot the points. So I have 0, -3, 1, -4, -1, -4. I see that they're mirrored. That's good. 2, -7, -2, -7. And then I disconnect them. Alright? Anything you want to add, Jacob? That's all you got? Yeah? So we expected it to be downward parabola because of the -1. And then we expected it to be shifted down because of the -3. And so that is what our graph looks like. Any question?
Oh, I mean, I got the same exact thing, but I didn't put it in parentheses when you get the y. So I don't know why is that?
So you just have to remember to make it negative at the end because if I just wrote like, instead of using parentheses there, if I wrote -1 squared, that looks like -1 squared, which is different. This would be like -1 times -1 is +1 versus -1 squared is 1 squared, and then you make it negative, that's -1, and those things are not equal. So you see why we use parentheses?
No, I see why, it's just, I didn't get, I mean, I got the same exact answers as you, but I didn't put parentheses.
So if you knew in your head that like you're using parentheses, you just didn't write them, then you're gonna get the same answer, but whenever you plug something in, you should.
I didn't know you were supposed to put some parentheses.
Well, now you know. Cool. Alright, any questions with number 3? No? You need a minute to probably done? Very good. Alright, can I erase it? Okay. Alright, so before we do a quick group activity, I want to take one more opportunity to talk about interpreting graphs. So we've already talked about this a little bit. So things to look for with a parabola, first of all, is the vertex. What again is the vertex? Sometimes it's at the origin, and in the case yesterday, it was usually at the origin. It's like how it's the minimum or the maximum. And we find out with the negative b over 2a. And then, how do we know if it's open up or open down? If a, our leading coefficient, is positive, it's up. If it's negative, it's down. How do we know if it has a maximum or a minimum? So if it's right related to the open up, it's going to have a minimum. If it's open down, then it's going to have a maximum. And then how do we determine the y-intercept? Gino talked about this a little bit in his presentation. Yes. What did he say?
It's on the 0, like, for the table.
Yeah, so
I did this so
no,
fast,
awesome.
so, like, I can't.
When x equals 0, right? So x equals 1 here, x equals -1 here, x equals 0 here. So it's this point and that point. In this case, that's going to be our C. Okay? That tells us how much to shift up or shift down. Alright, any questions about that before we get into this activity? No? Okay, so you guys are going to notice, if you haven't already, that there are 7 graphs around the room.
Where?
What?
I don't even know this
What? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I'm going to pass out.
It's like Michigan Man.
I'm going to pass out some cards. Each of the cards has some information about the graph. So it might be the equation of the graph, it might be a t-table about the graph, it might give you some information about the A and C, or if it's open upward or downward. So you guys have to use the information on the graph to end up at the right poster. Then once you guys are all there together, you guys will be a group, and you'll fill out this worksheet on the side, and then we'll have some time to go around and present like the important things about your graph. All right, did you have a question? No? Any other questions about the activity? No? Okay, so you guys are going to need to bring a pencil or a pen or something like that so you can write on your worksheet. I'm going to be passing these out. Once you get them, you can start looking for your graph. Also, please don't lose the... Yeah. You guys probably won't be with the people you sit next to. So you guys are getting up out of your seat and looking for your graph if you have one.
Is that the exit ticket?
Here you go.
Yeah, go ahead. Take a pencil or a pen. No, the worksheet is attached to the poster. Help each other out. Make sure you're on the right group.
Got this one?
You have 5 minutes to get to your area and fill out the worksheet.
So we already got this function, that was much further. Vertex is hard.
There's also one at the door that nobody's by.
Can we ask if this is correct?
Can ask.
Is this correct?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Alright, so what does your information tell you? How your business is? Okay. And A is negative, what does that mean?
So this is definitely a shoe.
What does A tell us?
What's this again?
Remember saying
I have no idea.
What's C again?
it? You guys have 3 people. Work together. Jacob, what's that?
So A is like, it's kind of like the slope, and then divided like 2 over 1.
Oh, that's right. So it's basically if you have this equation with you,
Okay, what's the A right here?
it's my
That would be it.
So what does A tell you?
That's the leading coefficient, like how many like.
So what does it tell us about what the graph is gonna look like?
It's like
It goes
numbers.
It's negative positive.
Okay, what happens if it's negative?
It goes downwards.
So it looks like that?
So that like.
So maybe.
I told you.
Wait, what's,
Well, that's
Okay,
big.
so what does this tell us? A is positive, what does that mean?
what's the C?
What does A do?
What's C is?
Right, so if it's like this, A is positive, right? Positive, and A is negative. So is A positive or negative? So what is your
wait.
Is it up or down?
That's also 0.
It's up, it's positive. So it's positive, and then 0, 3 is the vertex. So you need to find one where it shifted up.
Okay, so find the one on 0 and 4. What about you? Do you have any questions, Sylvia?
So we should go up 4, that's all
Or is your 0 negative 1? So find 0 negative 1, that's your center. Your vertex.
What's C?
So now as a group, you guys are filling out that worksheet.
How far are they going down? Okay, there you go. See, you just won. Yay! Okay, so make sure there's bonus question. When you talk about wine or stuff, what is actually
There should only be one equation in each group.
It was
There should only be one equation, like y equals something in each group. Because this group doesn't have an equation.
because it opens down
It's hard.
So, I mean, this chapter is about.
It's finally going to be like,
Like that movie.
get out of yourself. Show this.
It was like a.
Alright. You guys ready? Go for it. That's not 1 minute.
No, I don't. It's just like what happened to the ring when you just changed it.
Oh wait.
Like that was like the same.
Alright, you have 1 minute to have one person in your group be prepared to present something about your graph. Fill out the worksheet and one person prepared to talk.
I'm not doing
You can all talk. How about that? That'll be even better.
Oh yeah, what happened to your fishbowl?
I brought more water today, but I was waiting for the temperature to match the classroom. because my house is really cold. So we gotta wait until the water temperature. Yeah, because this one, his is warm. Yeah, it's room temperature. This one is cold, so I'm waiting a whole
in
day.
here, right?
No, you don't microwave this.
He'll get
He'll
get radiation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cancer.
He'll mutate.
No, it's okay. So he'll just wait until tomorrow or day after tomorrow. The other bowl to.
Just put the water outside. Who's gonna take a random jug of water?
Wait, I have another question. What's its name?
Mr. Galois. Galois. He's a French mathematician named after a French
Alright, you guys
mathematician.
ready to present?
That's cute.
Yeah. You guys will learn about
Figure
Galois
out
later.
what I'm gonna say.
So, what does he eat over the weekends?
Warm.
Right, so
Yeah, I just tossed it in there before I leave.
You reminds me of my dog.
Yeah.
He's a pug, this big, and he bites.
I have a German Shepherd. She does bite, but she does like that playful nipping rather than like full on snapping down her hand and breaking everything.
But it also shows her power too.
I know she's powerful. She can drag me.
Miss Hines?
It's a German Shepherd mix. Those things are huge.
I have a pug, and this dude can bite. Look at this.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to.
Alright, eyes and ears up here, please. Can I have one group volunteer to present first? Yeah, right back here. Give me one interesting thing that you learned or something that you took out of this activity.
What we took out of this activity is to check your work and make sure is to double check your work, work with others efficiently, and
Or her, sorry.
We basically learned what C is, and C is like how steep the graph goes.
See how steep it is?
Yeah, like
You mean how far down it goes on the graph before it starts making the curve upwards or downwards?
Yeah, so our vertex, right? How high or low? Awesome, I love that. C is our vertex for these. Alright, does someone else want to share? Abel, can you share about what you learned?
I learned since I thought at first that it was this one, but when I realized it, because a negative is supposed to go down and then a positive is supposed to go up. That's what I.
Cool, so he was over there, but he
I
realized
was
later
supposed
that he was supposed to be over here.
Yeah.
And so he caught his mistake that, was it a negative C or a negative A?
I think negative A.
Negative A, so if it was a negative A, then it should flip it downward.
Yeah.
So he should have been over here.
Mhm.
Awesome, that's a great takeaway. Anything else? Our group here? What do you guys learn?
Stay away.
Our function is y equals 3 squared minus 4.
Vertex is 0, negative 4.
Cool, so if C equals negative 3, then it should be shifted down 3, and your A was negative, so it's flipped down. Awesome, love it. Alright, if you guys are in the back there, you can put the cards on that desk, and if you guys are in the front, you guys can put your cards right here.
Back to your seat.
Hey guys, ready? Why? Skip mine.
Yeah, we're just gonna put them on here.
Your cards are either over there or over here.
They had a blue, but I didn't want white.
Oh,
It's blue like your guys, but the or they had a black, but it was mostly gray.
Alright, with your last 3 minutes, I want you to talk about with your table the answer to number 1 on your exit ticket. I want you to talk about the answer to number 1 on your exit ticket.
everyone wants to graph y equals A, and it's compared to the graph of y equals. Oh, it basically has plus C. Basically shifts
You can use Desmos to help you out. Plug in a random value for A or C. Does someone else say someone has one? Someone has one? have them just share. You guys don't need to turn it in. I just want you to talk about it. So what's the relationship between y equals ax squared plus c and y equals ax squared? Okay, so they have the a that's the same, right? So they're going to be the same like wideness or the same direction. But what does c do? C doesn't tell us the wideness. Yeah, so it shifts upward. So they're going to be like the same graph like this. I want to shift it up. Alright, with the last 1 minute, I want to talk about the answer to number 1 because it will show up on your homework. A is the same in both equations, right? So the wideness or
Hey, guys.
the wideness or narrowness is going to be the same. But one of them has a plus c. So what happens? Oh, wider. It's shifted up, right? It doesn't become wider. They're the same wideness. But one is shifted up or it's shifted down. Yeah, where it starts. So that's the importance of C. Awesome. Are you guys came back up with your last minute?
Okay, tomorrow you're gonna be working on that worksheet that Miss Hines gave you for in-class work. Make sure you turn that in at the end of the period. What's your assignment for tomorrow? What does it say? What does it say? What does that worksheet that she gave you say? Puzzle time. Oh wait. So this period is the one that needs to do. You need to finish up your the diagnostic test. Once you finish that, you work on that. If you can finish it by the end of the period, tomorrow you get extra credit. But if not, it becomes a homework assignment. Make sense?
Last thing, if you have time, take pictures of the graphs around the room because they'll be good extra practice. You can copy them in your notes. And if you did the extra credit for the x-intercepts, come see me